Today we're going to be changing the battery in a Casio watch. This particular watch is a Casio 5474 MRW-210H. That's Mike Romeo Whiskey hyphen 210 Hotel. This is a close-up look of that particular back of the watch. As we notice, these are Phillips head screws or slotted screws as well. The particular kind of battery that this particular watch uses is a Energizer 395. Now, this actually, according to the manual, is a SR Sierra Romeo 927 Sierra Whiskey. SR927SW. Now, what the 395 or the SR927SW is a low drain. As the battery states, it is a low drain silver oxide 1.55 VCC battery. Now, this is an interesting size battery and kind of battery with the 395. There's also a 399 that has the same physical dimensions of the button cell and a similar composition, kind of. And that would be an SR927W or a high drain 399 battery. Now, there's Casio watches use similar batteries. This happens to be a Casio watch that uses a 399 battery. And while this one physically will fit inside this watch, it is recommended to have a 395 or an SR927W. But the particular watch that we're working on today is a low drain SR927SW battery or a 395. So, what's the first thing we're going to do is we make sure we have a nice clean area to do our work in, and then we make sure we have some kind of instrument. This is not particular, as you saw with the backing earlier, a terribly intricate or difficult to remove backing, as there's 4 screws in the watch. Now, what you want to do is have a precision screwdriver with precision bits. I have different bits on here, PH1, PH000, PH00, and a PH0. So those are all going to be close for this. What you but what you also recognize from when we looked at it earlier here, this is also slotted. You can kind of see the slots there. So in that particular case, you could use a small precision flat if that is all that you have, instead of a Phillips. So either in this particular case, either one of those will work. You just want to get a close enough diameter to the screw. So I'm going to first check to see what size. So I'm going to start with a PH0, and it fits very nicely in here. We will see if there's any that fit any better. PH0. We'll go up to pH 1, and a pH 1 is too big. So we could potentially go down to a 0, 0. Let's see if that fits any better. And that's either a pH 0, 0 or a pH 0, which pH stands for Phillips head. I would like to go with the larger because it fits a little tighter in the pH 0 size bit. Let's get you a closer look at that here. There's the pH 0 bit, and then like I said, it also has a flat side to it. So the flat side happens to be in this case at 3/32, and that we could fit like that. But you really want to have the most contact with the most screw that you can have. So like I said, I'm going to go with a pH 0 screw tip on the precision screwdriver. So we'll put our other bits away, and we will have our pH 0 screwdriver tip. So you can have a watch holder for this, or like I said, the idea is to maintain a clean open space and have somewhere ultimately to put the screws. So I'm just going to actually put them in here. It's actually kind of ledged in this here, so I can use this kind of as a battery case, or not battery case, but a screw holder case. So we will go counterclockwise. That is turning to the left, and we will unscrew each screw. Now, ideally, for anything that is secured in a 4 pattern, 5 pattern, 6 pattern, is you want to go across so it equally comes up as well as equally tightens down. So I'll take one out. I'll come over here. And then it doesn't require a whole lot of force to open that up. Okay, so now I've removed all 4 screws from the back of the watch. You can see from another angle I have all 4 screws now removed. Okay, now we're going to proceed to open the back of the watch. And some watches contain springs and such, so you'd want to gently remove these so as not to cause any issue. We also don't want to smudge in here because on the back of the watch there is an O-ring that goes around, and that's what seals the water out for when you're washing your hands or swimming or whatever. Now at this point, what we want to do is we want to change over to a flat tip. We can just use the other side in this particular screwdriver, which again, this is a 3/32 flat tip, and there is a notch in this little plastic ring that we just lift up, and I'll get you a closer view of that. As we look, there is the notch that we slide up. So we gently slide this up, and there's a couple of those. Again, we try to do these evenly around the watch, and that ring comes up. We want to maintain the orientation. This actually was over the actual battery, So we'll set this aside. Now if we look again we look close. As I was explaining earlier, this is an SR927SW. This happens to be a Sony. There's a cross compatibility and matrix you can look up on the internet, but ultimately that's a 395 battery energizer. It is also the same in a Duracell. It is a 395 to match up to an SR927SW battery. Now once we got to this point, there is not a whole lot of rocket science to removing this. We just need to see that the correct orientation is with the positive, as we saw earlier, on the upside, while the negative is on the inside. Here, let me get you a closer view. As you can see, the positive side to our button cell battery is up. So we just need to take the same with our battery when we put it in, same orientation, so that it works. So again, there's no rocket science to this. We just get in there here slightly to the edge, make sure to hold this down a little bit, and it will just pop right up. And we can remove and set it to the side. If we want to remember how the orientation of the battery is, we just leave it in the same orientation as it came out, and that way we know how to put it back in. Now what we do is, if we haven't done so already, we could have done it so earlier, is we open our battery, replacement battery that we got, and peel up the bubble and slide out our new battery. Again, if we look side by side, we can look at these and see they both will let you know where the positive is. There, we got a closer up view, kind of shield our light. We can actually see it just as well. We can see again that they are the same size battery. We can see that the plus is up. What's interesting from a bad battery and a good battery perspective is you can see this one, as a bad battery, is actually kind of bubbled, while this is flat. Typically that is what will happen to batteries. Cell phone batteries will do the same thing, or other kinds of batteries will do, they'll bubble a little bit if they are going faulty. The installation is just the reverse of the deinstallation. We put the battery in, we can seat it with our finger, and what we'll be able to see immediately is that our watch hand moves. So we can see that there's not a problem with the watch anymore. It was just indeed a dead battery. Now you could take a voltmeter to test the battery and see, but the indications where this has been sitting here a long time. It's the original battery with that, as far as near as you can tell, as well as the bubbling of the battery. So that new battery is in place, but that's kind of springy in here a little bit. So we need to put our ring hold back in, which we want to put that where that puts pressure down upon the battery, as well as there is a notch that can be seen where it goes over the stem. So we'll put this in here, push this down, and again we seat this in here. Taking note, there is a metal ring here that will move, that has kind of like a clippy around it, tab of sorts, and we just want to try not to bend that. We want to go under it and push straight down. Now again, we want to watch out that we don't disturb the O-ring, which seals for water. Then we take our watch back casing, and in the same orientation with the words, we just slide it on the back here. And we can go back to our Phillips. Again, that's Phillips PH0. And each one of our screws. Sometimes you have a magnetic tip that you can use to find these. This one, particular one, does not, so you have to be very careful not to drop or let a screw run away on you. We get them each back in their hole. And we can start each one. So I started it to kind of hold the back in place as I get the rest of our battery, or best of our screws, and put them back in the holes. And you're welcome to forward through this part as I'm just matching up the holes, or screws to the holes, screwing in a little bit just to so the screws don't run away on me. But as soon as I have all of them in, then it's important to watch. And they may fall to the side as you're working on it. You just want to make sure that they don't run away on you. You can use a tweezers to set these as well. And then once they're all in, what you want to do, as we discussed earlier, is pick a corner, get most of the way up, then go to the opposite corner in like a star pattern. Most of the way up, and then it doesn't matter at this point. Pick one here, pick one here, and get it just finger tight. You don't have to crank down on these because the O-ring on the inside seals these. So just up, just up, just up, and just up. Okay, you have now successfully replaced the battery on a Casio 5474 or MRW-210H battery, a watch. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Any questions, please post them in the comments, and have a wonderful day.